The special prosecutor's investigation is accelerating, particularly on the coup investigation. Let's talk with Hyun Ji-ho from the Legal Affairs team. Hyun, Cho Eun-seok, the special prosecutor for the coup investigation, is akin to former President Yoon Seok-yeol. That must create some tension.
Yes, that's correct. Both Special Prosecutor Cho Eun-seok and former President Yoon Seok-yeol have backgrounds in special investigations. Many of Yoon's legal team members also hail from special investigation units, establishing a rivalry among these special investigators as they face off against each other. We anticipate a tough battle among legal experts in special investigations.
Could it be due to the expected legal showdown? Almost immediately after the case was handed to the special prosecutor, an arrest warrant was filed. What's behind the rapid pace?
Many believe the swift investigation reflects Special Prosecutor Cho's background in special investigations. Some say his approach is rather unconventional. Former President Yoon is broadly viewed as the pivotal figure directly linked to the martial law proclamation. In usual circumstances, investigations typically focus on other related parties prior to honing in on the key figure. However, this time they have chosen to start their inquiries with the key figure from the outset. There's speculation that the special prosecutor believes the evidence gathered during the police investigation is enough to prove the allegations. However, some in the legal community are concerned that the investigation is moving too quickly.
Given Joe's thoughtful investigative approach, what are your thoughts on the likelihood of the arrest warrant being issued soon?
The court in charge of the review is likely facing a tough decision. Typically, a judge decides whether to issue an arrest warrant within 24 hours of the request. It's already been more than 24 hours. We'll have to wait and see whether the court decides to issue the arrest warrant.
In previous investigations, former President Yoon's legal team notably raised several procedural issues. Might they consider arguing similarly this time around?
That seems quite possible. Former President Yoon's legal team had consistently raised procedural concerns during the previous CIO investigation. This time as well, they issued a statement claiming that the arrest warrant, filed without even a single summons, violates due process and infringes on the right to defense. They submitted a similar opinion to the court. It is unprecedented for the special prosecutor to treat a police summons as their own and immediately request an arrest warrant. Some say this could become a point of contention later on.
If the arrest warrant is granted and leads to detention, won't it affect other investigations by the special prosecutors' teams?
Yes, with the special prosecutors conducting parallel investigations, if one of them detains former President Yoon, it could disrupt the progress of the other investigation. In light of the complexities involved, an experienced legal professional has emphasized that such a scenario absolutely demands careful coordination and synchronized efforts among all of the teams. As we pointed out previously, this fierce rivalry among the teams might result in each group trying to pursue overlapping investigation areas.
And about the coup special prosecutor's explanation for the arrest warrant application, they used the phrase "beobolagui," the law does not flatter the rich. Does that signify their strong determination?
Yes, that's right. Beobolagui means the law does not flatter the powerful. Last year, the Seoul prosecutor's office probed Kim Ki-on-hee without notifying the general, stirring controversy over authority. This phrase comes from former Prosecutor General Lee Woon-suk.
When I was appointed as Prosecutor General, I spoke of the principle beobolagui, that the law does not favor the powerful. However, during the investigation involving the First Lady, that principle was not upheld, and in the end, I failed to keep my promise to the people.
In fact, this very same phrase was emphasized during the special prosecutor's briefing about the coup investigation.
We will proceed strictly in accordance with the Criminal Procedure Act under the principle of beobolagui.
This implies that the investigation into former President Yoon will be conducted swiftly, adhering strictly to the law.
We stand by the special prosecutor's principle, the law does not flatter the rich. That was Hyun Ji-ho reporting.